In this short video, you will be learning about the Uniform Bank Performance Report, also known as UBPR. The Uniform Bank Performance Report is a comprehensive analytical tool created for the various bank, supervisory, and examination agencies from the Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council quarterly call and income reports. The UBPR contains a wealth of profitability and risk information presented in a consistent and uniform manner. The advantage of this report over typical financial statements is its uniformity in the presentation of data. The UBPR provides information over 5 periods, either annually or quarterly. The real strength of the UBPR is its consistency across institutions. The UBPR data consists of 3 basic types: bank level ratios and dollar values, peer group averages, and bank percentile ranks. Bank level dollar values consist primarily of detailed income statement and balance sheet data. Ratios provide data on almost all aspects of a specific bank's profitability and risk. Peer group averages are classified into 15 different groups based on the size of banks, their general location, and their number of branches. Percentile ranks allow for a more comprehensive analysis and rank each bank's ratio within the peer group in ascending order from 0 to 99. Each percentile rank indicates that the associated ratio is above that fraction of peer banks' ratios. The UBPR identifies peers by size, state, and metropolitan or non-metropolitan area, along with the number of branches. This is generally too broad a group to be meaningful. Most banks create their own peer groups to compare performance. Additional explanations for balance sheet, income statement, and ratio calculations can be obtained from the UBPR User's Manual available from the internet at www.ffiec.gov. Complete UBPR reports, including peer group data, can be found at this address. The UBPR has been available for banks since 1986 and for FDIC-insured savings banks since 1990. So, how do you obtain UBPR? You simply go to Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council's website, the ffiec.gov. As you see, you can get several different types of reports from here. Once, you can get Executive Summary Report, Custom Peer Group Bank Report, Peer Group Average Report, Peer Group Average Distribution Report, and so on. For this class, let's start with UBPR reports first. In order to create a report, you must select a report type. Here again, it gives you the option, and we are going to start with the UBPR first. Now, you may know about your bank's ID number, but if you don't know it yet, here is a good way to start. So I am going to use the Western Heritage Bank. And I know that the Western Heritage Bank is located in New Mexico. Then I will search for this bank. Now, this will give me the ID number, and it will be good if you actually note it somewhere. I will click on the Western Heritage Bank, and then I can play around with the report period. As you can see it from here, the report will include the last 5 years, and it will be annual, and that is the standard report. You can do it customized, and you can change the years if you want to. So let's do the standard report and generate. That will be the information, the basic information about your bank. I want you to pay attention to this. Previously, we talked about the PG ranking. The current peer group for this bank is number 6. That means that insured commercial banks having assets between $100 million and $300 million. And this bank has 3 or more full-service banking offices and located in metropolitan statistical area. Now, some of your banks will be in different group number, so pay attention to that. If you want to have the summary ratios or any analysis that is on the UBPR, you can select it from the left hand side. Let's start with the summary ratios. Here, the report is generated as table. You can play around and make it as a graph. And you can download this by simply clicking download, and it gives you different options. Now, here you can compare a line item. Let's see this. So this interest income over the total equity, which is your return on equity. And I am going to compare it to interest expenses. And interest expense can be found on income statement. All the way down, I'll go to total interest expense. So for Western Heritage Bank, the blue line represents the interest income over total equity, which is return on equity, and black line represents the total interest expense. So something was not right at the end of 2020. Their interest expense was much higher than total interest income over, of course, total equity. Another thing that you can do here, you can compare different banks. And I'm going to select a bank from here. And it will directly bring the New Mexico state banks. Sometimes, actually in this window, we have, I believe, all of the state community banks. So what I'm going to do, I will search, for example, for Citizens Bank of Las Cruces. I'll select and save it. So Western Heritage Bank, still blue, and the black line represents now the Citizens Bank of Las Cruces. You can play around. You can get 1 year, 5 quarter, 2 year, 5 years, or all. If you scroll down, you see that you can expand this. to all years. It goes back to 2002. On this side, you can have the graph or the trend for different items on the balance sheet or income statement. So here we see the net income. Over here, we have net operating income. You can play around and you can create a report as you wish from either selecting these items or here, item lines. If you want to know about how those numbers that are created, you can visit the UBPR's user guide. Well, this is it for this UBPR creating the performance reports. I hope you enjoyed the video.